Hello and welcome to CDO Magazine Interview Series. I'm Denise Verdicchio with SHI, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT, CDOIQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Corinne Picataggi, who is the Chief Technical Officer for William & Mary. Welcome, Corinne.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we were talking about tech and innovation. It's happening super fast. I think, and it continues to just increase pace like phenomenally. So we're talking a little bit about this now with how you changed your processes, but how do organizations, what are other ways that organizations can keep pace? And what are some key factors in their ability, their success in being able to incorporate these new technologies into their processes and systems and tools?
Right. This is a timely question. I'm leading my team through that evolution right now due to the pace, and we're in a digital revolution. It's not slowing down. I don't think there will ever be a time in the remainder of my career where demand doesn't exceed capacity. We've got more work than we can do. I think to keep pace right now, I'm refocusing my leadership team, not just on how do we get the work done, but how can we facilitate technology solution deployment and change, empower and equip users with more self-service tech, and most importantly, establish frameworks for partnerships with third parties or supplemental workforce so they're driving within the guardrails that we've established and to our standards. I can't do all the work, but I also can't block innovation and change because I'm not equipped to scale. I think leaders in technology have to figure out how to meet those user needs while protecting the integrity of our technology and data assets. Figuring that out for your organization, which is going to be a little bit different from organization to organization, is critical. I don't have the human capital to develop expertise and bench strength in every technology, domain, discipline, solution the institution needs. I can't do that. And I don't have to because there are people around the globe that have that expertise. So as tech leaders, we need to answer that question. How do we meet the need without disproportionately adding headcount or expecting that we're going to be able to add headcount to the IT bench? Because that's likely not happening. We get it. So I think that's a huge factor. Another one, and I've been thinking a lot about this lately, kind of in my off time, just marinating, is it's my responsibility. I feel it as a personal responsibility to elevate the technology aptitude of my whole institution. So aptitude and capacity are two of my favorite words when I'm measuring our ability to manage change, innovation, work, and leveling up that technology aptitude is important for every member of our community. I think doing so, it will decrease time to deploy and adopt solutions. When you get everyone thinking or more comfortable, leveled up in that technology aptitude, that's how you're going to foster the next gen of ideas and innovation in those functional areas, as well as improve research, analytics, the understanding of how the upstream and downstream impacts of their work, or how their work impacts the data integrity and the technology assets, information technology assets that we have at the institution. And I think that's another way that we get more done. So looking outside, key factor one was looking outside. How do you leverage that expertise that exists when you can't add it yourself on your team? And then how do you level up internally so that way your users are more prepared and equipped to start functioning with technology at a higher level? Mm-hmm. Those are my two big ones.
I love that. So I think in my experience anyway, one of the key factors or the key components of a great leader that I've seen is their ability to just set guardrails and then let their people go within those guardrails, which is exactly, you use the word guardrails. I use that all the time. And I think,
awesome.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's the best way to continue to have innovation and also protect the integrity of what you're trying to do as an organization, or your, like you said, your data and your infrastructure. So I kind of really love that. But I had not really, you're the first person that I have heard really focus on aptitude. And I think that's such an interesting call out, and how critical that is actually to the continued success of incorporating this, all this new digital tech that's coming our way at fast and furious. I mean, I guess I've never really thought about that so much, but I just found that answer to be so insightful.
So, and I would define that. I mean, aptitude, you don't,
Yeah.
You measure people's aptitude relative to technology, but I kind of fold, what are their skills? What is their experience? What is their personal ability to evolve with change and embrace new skills, and all of that kind of packaged together is the technology aptitude. And I mean, sometimes we have to say hard things. I've had offices come to me and want to put in a technical solution and say, oh, we're going to admin this and it'll be fine. And when you look at the staff, you think this is not the best choice for my university because their technology aptitude doesn't meet what that work requires or demands. So we need to figure out how to do that a little bit differently, whether it's IT partnership or, we help them develop the aptitude internally within their office. But we have to talk about that. We can't put people in positions with technology or otherwise, I mean, not even related to technology, where they can't be successful going in. And we know that. Why do that? It just, it doesn't help anyone. And in addition to achieving the mission of the organization, we need to protect our workers, our employees, our users, so they can be successful. If we're not setting them up for success, then that's a deficiency on our part, I think. And so I think it's important that we talk about it. Yeah,
I love this talk track. I think it's certainly not something that I've thought about in my role, but I think it actually can be, you can use that same thought process, whether you're in tech or not. I just, as a leader in general, aptitude. I like that a lot. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about innovation and creating a culture of innovation. This is something that I'm thinking about all the time. And I love that you just kind of shared that you're kind of, you love your process design work, and that's, where you kind of grew up and you want to be. I like that. That's very innovative work. I think I mentioned this in a interview that I had done in the past. I feel like, at least in my organization, still people think of innovation happening just in IT. And I think it has to be a culture of innovation throughout an entire organization. So how does an organization create a culture where everybody's innovating? Like, that's not a standard thought process, I think, for most organizations. Like, how do you go about breaking down the wall of, oh, the IT people will take care of that innovation for us, and get everybody thinking along those lines?
Right. I mean, if you try to limit innovation to the IT org, you're doing it wrong in 2022, really. And you'll likely fall short. I mean, I absolutely need functional partnership to innovate my institution and realize change. They understand their work in a way that I never will. They have ideas inspired from context, functional context of doing that work that I haven't been exposed to. I don't feel like it's exclusively IT's job to innovate. I feel like it's IT's job to foster and support whole institution innovation. And I think that begins with relationships. So one area that I've been incredibly successful at William & Mary is doing that exercise that I talked to you about, because when I'm in the room, I use humor I make it clear I'm not coming from a place of judgment or condescension. I'm going to ask some really dumb questions because I don't understand your business exactly, but we're going to have fun kind of walking through. I could throw out, why have you been doing this for, and like, or tell me more about that. Do these people ask you all these questions, and we get through it and we laugh, and that relationship builds this foundation of trust. And in my mind, innovation and realizing change comes, there has to be trust in the partnerships, because people are afraid to do it. And if they know you have their back, both in a technical capacity to solve, we're going to have problems. I say that from the beginning. We're going to ask as many questions as we can, but we're going to forget about some, but it's okay. We can figure those out when we need to. And that's where that trust comes in, trust to solve the problem. So they have to have confidence in you, but also trust to say, hey, it's going to be a crazy few weeks and we're going to get through it together. You have leadership support. I'm with you. Reach out. What can I do to help? Who can I talk to, and help them through that change. And they don't feel like they're trapped on an island going through it alone. And I think that once you get through that a few times with various partners around the institution, word starts to spread. It's almost like you start to get street cred on this credibility for, hey, we did this really hard thing and man, it was hard, but we did it and we got through it. And IT was a great partner. We couldn't have done it without them. And that's the culture shift, is now people are thinking, well, what really great thing can I do? And that just snowballs. And it's so exciting, but it starts with those relationships and asking questions and building confidence and building trust. And I just don't know how you can be successful without those things.
All right. Well, I'm going to say thank you so much, Corinne, for taking time to speak with us today. I really enjoyed our conversation. And for all of those out there listening, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it too.